It's 2 a.m. and you're lying awake. Not because anything happened to you exactly. You didn't lose your job today. Nobody you love is sick. You're physically fine. But your mind is running laps. Maybe it's a news headline you can't shake. Maybe it's a comment a stranger left on the internet 3 days ago. Maybe it's traffic that made you late to something that already happened. Maybe it's a political decision made by people you've never met, in rooms you'll never enter, about outcomes you can't change tonight. And yet, here you are, awake, tense, exhausted by something you had zero control over. If that sounds familiar, you aren't weak. You're not broken. You're human. But there's something worth understanding about why your brain does this, and more importantly, how to train it to stop. The human brain was not designed for 2025. It was designed for survival on a savanna roughly 200,000 years ago, where threats were physical, immediate, and often fatal. Missing a predator meant death, so the brain evolved a powerful bias. Scan constantly for danger, fixate on problems, and don't let go until the threat is resolved. That system saved our ancestors. And here's the problem. Your brain can't reliably tell the difference between a lion in the grass and a bad tweet. Both register as a threat. Both trigger the same stress response. And because most modern threats, politics, social media, global news, and other people's opinions never actually resolve, your brain just keeps scanning, keeps fixating, keeps the alarm running. This is sometimes called the negativity bias, and research consistently shows that negative information receives more cognitive attention and is processed more deeply than neutral or positive information. We weren't built to scroll through 1,000 crises a day, but that's exactly what most of us do before breakfast. Here's where it gets important and a little uncomfortable. Think of your brain like a forest full of hiking trails. Every thought you have, every emotional pattern you repeat is like walking a path through those woods. The trails you walk most often become the clearest, deepest, most automatic routes. The one you avoid get overgrown and disappear. This is neuroplasticity in plain language. Your brain physically reshapes itself based on what you repeatedly do with your attention. Neural pathways you use grow stronger. Ones you neglect weaken. So when you doom scroll for an hour before bed, when you replay an argument in your mind on a loop, when you spend 30 minutes reading comment sections designed to make you furious, you are not just passing time, you are training. You are walking the outrage trail, the anxiety trail, the helplessness trail, over and over. And with each pass, those trails get a little deeper, a little easier to fall into, a little more like your default. The brain learns what you practice. Most of us have accidentally practiced being distressed by things we cannot change. There's a simple question, not new, genuinely powerful, that can interrupt the cycle the moment it starts. Can I directly influence this situation right now? Not eventually, not through complaining about it, not by worrying more intensely. Right now, today, with the hours I actually have. If the answer is yes, do the thing, make the call, write the email, take the action. Focused energy on something real is one of the most calming experiences available to a human mind. It turns anxiety into agency. If the answer is no, and often it is, then you're facing a choice between two kinds of attention. Attention that drains you and attention that restores you. This is the difference between a concern and a responsibility. A concern is something you care about. A responsibility is something within your actual power to affect. Trouble is that most of us treat our concerns like responsibilities, spending hours of real mental energy on things we have no lever to pull. It feels like caring. It often looks like caring, but it's closer to rehearsing helplessness. Here's what acceptance actually means, because it's widely misunderstood. Acceptance is not pretending bad things are fine. It's not indifference. It's not surrender. Acceptance is simply acknowledging reality as it currently is, so that your energy can be spent effectively rather than wasted in resistance to what already exists. The traffic jam has already happened. The election result is certified. The rude comment has already been written. Fighting reality in your mind doesn't change reality. It just costs you the present moment, and the next one, and the one after that. What you can do, always, is choose what happens next. You can choose where your attention goes. You can choose how to respond. You can choose what kind of trail you walk. Think about physical fitness for a moment. Nobody runs a marathon by thinking about it. You build that capacity through small repeated efforts over time. Rest days, training days, discipline and patience. Emotional resilience works exactly the same way. Calmness is not a personality trait you either have or don't. It's a capability you build. Every time you notice the pull toward outrage and choose curiosity instead, you walk a new trail. Every time you catch yourself ruminating and gently redirect towards something within your control, carve a new path. Every time you limit exposure to media designed to keep you anxious and invest that hour in something that actually reflects your values, you are training. Practically, set a boundary on news consumption. 30 minutes once a day with intention. Notice when you're replaying an argument and ask what you're hoping to resolve. Before bed, spend 2 minutes naming what you did influence today. Not what worried you, what you touched. These aren't grand gestures. They are trail maintenance. You will not control the weather. You won't control the economy, public opinion, the news cycle, or the way other people choose to live their lives. That's not pessimism. That's just the honest shape of a human life. You can train your mind to choose where it places its attention. You can learn to ask the right question before the anxiety takes over. You can build the habit of redirecting energy from what's unchangeable to what's yours to shape. Do that consistently. Not perfectly, but consistently. And something quiet starts to shift. The trails change. The defaults change. The 2 a.m. spirals start to loosen their grip. That choice, repeated daily, becomes a habit. And that habit, over time, becomes something more than a coping strategy. It becomes who you are. If this resonated, if this hit, share it. If you really enjoyed it, smash that subscribe button. Follow me everywhere. We're building something real here. Stay grounded, stay sharp, and stay unshakable.